Welcome back to another episode of Projecting Grandeur. I am your host, Ron Dichter. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for being part of this community of ours. We continue to help entrepreneurs become as good as they can possibly be and really help them in their journey. I've said this before, but I'm a firm believer that entrepreneurs are changing the world. And if I can impart any sort of wisdom that I have from my past experience as an entrepreneur, my current experience, I want to share that in the interest of really trying to help entrepreneurs be successful to change the world. Today, I want to talk about timeline, and I want to talk about your timeline specific to goals that you set out and why you're doing them. I've thought about this a lot over my career because there have been a lot of times where I've created these timelines that are manufactured based upon something that I want to accomplish. Usually it's a goal, and usually it's a revenue-based goal or some specific thing I want to do in a period of time. And as I look back with hindsight, and I have that luxury now to do that, I start to think to myself, like, what would have happened if I didn't have to meet this artificial timeline? There wasn't a gun to my head. There wasn't, necessarily a group holding me to a set time frame. What if I could have taken more leisure and gone at my own pace to really focus on either the enjoyment of the process or the improvement of the process, or really just kind of making, I think, a better experience for my team? And so I would just ask you, as you start to set your goals, in this video, we've got a quarter left in 2025. And as you start thinking about the back quarter of the year, naturally what you're going to start doing is planning for the next year. And as you start to plan, what I would ask you is why? Like, what are these timelines that you are creating? Are they for a specific thing that you need to hit? Do you have to deliver a product by X date? Do you have to, have a certain department rolled out by this date? And if so, why? What is driving that? And if you need to do it because the business is at a place where if you don't do this stuff, you're going to shrink, sure, I get it. But if you're just putting that timeline in place because you ultimately feel like you want to, launch this thing at this set time, like, that's probably not the right reason to do it. And if you can be more thoughtful about how you dole out what you're going to do in a timeline, I think number one, you're going to enjoy the process more. Number two, you're going to have a team that probably appreciates the process more. And lastly, you'll be doing things when the company is ready for it. And I'm not advocating it going slower. You may actually go faster in this scenario. I'm just saying, by putting this set time out there, unless there is something that has to happen by this time frame, I'm just asking you and challenging you, like, why do you need to have that date? Why do you have to have this thing, this product, this department rolled out by that date? Wouldn't there be maybe some internal things inside of your company that should drive that, as opposed to a date in the future that you just say, this is what we're going to do by this time frame? Because then what ends up happening is you get so fixated on that date that you start to make either rushed decisions, or you make decisions to do something because you put that pin in the calendar on that date and you feel obligated to meet that deadline. But unless there's some just driving need to have that date met, don't do it. Just say, look, our goal might be in this next year, we want to accomplish these things. But for those to happen, these are the things that need to happen ahead of that for us to be able to do that. And I think if you take more time focused on the steps that lead to the output you want, again, what you'll end up having is more thoughtful decisions. You'll have better execution when you do implement it, and your team will feel ready. And I've had a lot of times where, we've rolled out product because we've told the world this is what we're going to do, and we weren't ready. Maybe the product was ready, but the team wasn't ready. The support wasn't ready. The onboarding wasn't ready. Whatever the process was, it wasn't ready. And we ultimately ended up making our team, be a little bit, uncomfortable about that we were rolling something out that we weren't fully capable of supporting. And then we had the risk that could actually make us look bad. So again, today, really simple, really short, just these timelines that you're creating, especially as you start planning out, future years. Why do they have to have a specific date? And are there things that you can quantify that has to happen before that, so that you can, rather than focus on a specific date, that you focus on the things before it? Once these are done, then we will go to this next thing. I think you'll find a much better experience. Hope you find this helpful. Again, this is Projecting Grandeur. I'm your host, Ron Dichter. Appreciate you tuning in today. Don't forget, like and comment, and most importantly, share. Thanks again.